Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding this video or any other video that I have posted in the past. Also, if you have any recommendations, suggestions of any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. In this video, I'm going to show you how to cook a teriyaki chicken. The teriyaki chicken used in this dish is more as a condiment rather than as a main ingredient. It adds a great deal to this vegetable medley, which contains cabbage, broccoli, zucchini, and mushroom. To be able to have chicken anytime I want, I prep them in advance. After I cut them, I store them in this Ziploc sandwich bag and freeze them into a thin layer like this. There's a tremendous advantage by doing it this way, because now I can thaw them out in a bowl of lukewarm water in a little bit over 5 or 6 minutes. And when I freeze the chicken like this, the large surface area allows it to contact with water and to thaw out very rapidly. As you can see here, by just rinsing it with water, the chicken already starts to thaw, and actually I'm able to bend the chicken. And when I use this method, I can have chicken any night I want because I can go from the freezer to the wok in about 10 minutes or less. Preparing your chicken like this gives you a lot of flexibility in planning your meal. You can decide whether you would like to have chicken when you walk into the kitchen. It is about 8 ounces of chicken in this package, just enough to provide interesting flavor to a vegetable dish. Quite often, there are fluid associated with the chicken, and I will try to drain it off as much as I can. I cut the chicken into thin slices before I freeze them. To improve the flavor of the chicken, I add 1 teaspoon of the Walk with Tak basic seasoning mix. This seasoning mix will enhance the umami flavor of the chicken. I have it available on Amazon, and if you'd like to give it a try, I have put the link below this video. I'm going to use a method to cook the chicken known as shallow frying. And to increase the charring of the chicken, I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. This method is a combination of shallow frying and stir frying, and by coating the chicken with cornstarch, basic seasoning mix, and sugar, it will give the chicken a light charring and also grill-like flavor. To do shallow frying, the best is to use a pair of long-handled tongs like this. Now, this pair of tongs is too short because your hand will be too close to the wok. And this tongs with silicone tip, it does not work as well as those with metal tips. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of canola oil after I heat up the wok. I'm going to heat up the oil until it starts to smoke gently for about 5 seconds. And this is time when the wok is being seasoned, allowing me to create a non-stick cook surface. And I call this method a spot seasoning. And you can take a look at this video for more details. After I add the chicken to the wok, you notice that the chicken tends to stick together by the cornstarch. And this is where a pair of tongs become very helpful, because now I can use the tongs to tease them apart and spread the chicken on the surface of the wok into a thin layer. The cornstarch coating allows me to fry the chicken to create a crispy texture on the surface of the chicken. And the reason this method is known as shallow frying is because it has a lot of similarities to deep frying, except you only use a small amount of oil. And consequently, you can only fry the chicken one side at a time. This method is not as efficient as deep frying because you are only frying one side at a time, whereas with deep frying, you fry entire piece of the food ingredients all at once. It not only reduces the amount of oil using in the cooking process, but it also reduces oil consumption. This shallow frying method works extremely well when the pieces are cut into small, thin slices, as in the case with this chicken. Consequently, they can fry very quickly. It takes only about 60 seconds to fry one side. As you notice that when I turn the chicken over, the side that has been fried take on a crispy texture, but also has quite a bit of charring. And this is reasoned because of the presence of the sugar causing caramelization. And the caramelization improved the flavor of the chicken significantly. And my wife had told me repeatedly that she would not want me to cook the chicken in any other way, because this is exactly how she likes it. Over the years, I have experimented with different ways how to cook chicken. And by making small changes, you can make significant difference of how the food ingredients is going to turn out. You can cook the chicken as it is, but coating the chicken with cornstarch will create a light, crispy texture and make it very different from when you cook it without cornstarch. Coat the chicken with the wok with tak basic seasoning mix. Add umami flavor to the chicken and make it more savory. And the addition of sugar will allow the chicken to become caramelized and make it also add another flavor to the chicken. You notice that some part of the chicken has started to char. The reason is that because of the lack of oil at the bottom of the wok, the temperature of the wok gets higher and it causing charring of the chicken. Now there are many different ways to season the chicken, but I'm going to season the chicken with a combination of oyster sauce and hoisin sauce. The addition of these two different sauces, I use a ratio about 2 parts of oyster sauce to 1 part of hoisin sauce. This will give the chicken a teriyaki flavor. The oyster sauce will make the chicken more savory, whereas the teriyaki sauce will give sweetness to the chicken. And the final step is that I'm going to garnish the chicken with some scallion that I have cut into thin strip. The scallion will give the chicken an aroma as well as a slight onion flavor. At this point, I switch my pair of tongs to my wok spatula. I noticed that some of the sauces has burned and stuck to the bottom of the wok. So I'm going to use my water bottle to add just a small amount of water, and then I use my wok spatula to detach this burnt material. Actually, this is a good way to reclaim the flavor back to the dish. And this turned out to be also a good way to clean the wok. And actually, I call this method spot cleaning. For me, this is probably the best way to stir-fry chicken. A combination of shallow frying together with stir-frying, it gives the chicken great flavor, texture, as well as aroma. Now, I'm going to set this chicken aside, and then I'm going to cook the vegetable dish. And the reason that I do not want to cook the chicken together with the vegetable dish, because I want the chicken to maintain its flavor. So after I cooking the vegetable dish, I will add the chicken to the vegetable. I add it at the side so that it will still maintain its distinct flavor and texture. And this will allow me to create a contrast between the chicken and the vegetable when you eat them together. For me, my meal will be perfectly fine with rice and the vegetables. I am used to eating just vegetables in my meal. But for some people who are still making the transition from a meat-based diet to a plant-based diet, they would like to have some meat in their meal. This dish is a perfect balance. You have some meat, but the vegetable is the main ingredients. The end result is that it is easier for individuals who still like to have meat to enjoy the vegetable as well. This is a very flexible dish. You use it as a template, and you can make variations of how you want to season the chicken. And at the same time, you can combine the chicken with many different kinds of vegetables. Using this approach, you can create wonderful meals that is simple, straightforward, and fast. This is probably the best way for you to find a viable alternative to fast and ultra-processed food. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.